chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
It's on it. It's on it. It's been talks. It's been talks. It's possible.
Okay, so not totally against that possibility.
No, not at all. Not at all. But we just don't know.
I would probably pick Mayweather to win, just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win, both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
Yeah, I think so.
Prime for prime? Nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. There definitely he is.
Right now, number one, this is his generation, this is his timeline. He is the king right now.
Floyd Mayweather has at last broken his silence, announcing that 2026 will mark his official return. But before that, he's stepping back into the spotlight this very year for the much-hyped showdown with Mike Tyson, though he stressed it's only an exhibition. What truly shook fans was his bold disclosure that once Tyson is behind him, he's setting his sights on a full professional comeback, with none other than Terence Crawford being lined up as a possible opponent. Mayweather revealed that real negotiations are underway for a sanctioned fight, and he underscored that both he and his camp are pushing with everything they have to make this long-awaited return a reality.
Everything is going great. You know, I feel good. Working hard each and every day, and I can't wait for 2026.
Whenever talk turns to dream matchups in boxing, Floyd Mayweather's name inevitably takes center stage. Even in retirement, his shadow looms large over the sport, with endless debates on whether he could overcome today's elite fighters. Recently, Robert Garcia stepped in with a blunt perspective on the hypothetical clash between Mayweather and Terence Crawford. He pointed out that despite Mayweather's legendary unbeaten career, he never achieved what Crawford and Manny Pacquiao did, securing undisputed status. Yet, Garcia openly admitted that the sheer brilliance and commanding presence of Mayweather still sway him to believe Floyd would come out on top if such a fantasy showdown ever materialized.
He doesn't need it anymore.
With his accomplishments, the only man to ever do 3 weight divisions undisputed. Is he now a part of the greatest of all time conversation? And not of this era, but of all time.
Definitely is the greatest, one of the greatest of all times. You know, there's still greats out there. There's still, you know, his era or last era, you know, with the Mayweathers, with the Pacquiaos. I think he's, you know, already accomplished more. Pacquiao was 8 divisions, so we could argue there because Pacquiao was, 8 division is almost impossible, and he did it. Mayweather never became undisputed. He's a 5 division champion, but never became undisputed. Never really followed that unification, stuff like that. So I think when it comes to accomplishments, I think he's already done more.
Robert Garcia wasted no time stressing the rare accomplishments that make Terence Crawford stand out, noting that Crawford managed what Floyd Mayweather never did, unify every championship belt in a division. He reminded fans that Manny Pacquiao also built a legacy across multiple weight classes with undisputed recognition, creating a contrast where Mayweather's otherwise flawless resume seems to lack that one milestone. Still, Garcia was clear. Floyd's unbeaten dominance and historic victories secure his greatness, even without the undisputed crown. What this does show, however, is that Crawford deserves a place among the sport's most complete fighters. Yet despite praising Crawford's legacy, Garcia leaned on his deep experience in boxing to justify why he'd still side with Mayweather, arguing that Floyd's defense, precision timing, and unmatched ring intelligence operated on an entirely different level. Interview.
Pick Mayweather, both in the prime. I would probably pick Mayweather to win, just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win, both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
Yeah, I think so.
Prime for prime? Nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. There definitely he is.
With all that said, what can you ultimately say about what occurred and what we saw Saturday night?
It was a great event, great turnout, 70,000 plus people. Gate was fucking insane from what I understand. You know, fucking that's good for boxing, man. Good for boxing, good for all the younger fighters. You know, all this new things going on. I think it's going to be a positive thing for all the younger fighters.
Dito pointed out that Floyd Mayweather's legacy carries 2 unforgettable identities, each legendary in its own right. First came Pretty Boy Floyd, the fearless young warrior who overwhelmed rivals with blistering speed, relentless offense, and razor-sharp combinations. Then emerged Money Mayweather, the defensive mastermind and pay-per-view giant who transformed himself into boxing's ultimate businessman. Olau described him as a true genius, shaping not only his fighting style, but also his larger-than-life persona, with each version radiating its own unique power. Pretty Boy thrilled fans by taking risks and chasing knockouts, while Money mesmerized the world with psychological warfare, technical brilliance, and the spectacle of turning every bout into a global event. Together, these two sides etched Mayweather into history as far more than just a fighter. He became the very architect of boxing's modern business model.
I'm sorry. He's a genius. He is a fucking... You know, when I get bored with today's crop of boxers, and Terence, to be fair, has kind of helped me out of my boredom, but sometimes I just go on YouTube and I watch the 24/7s and then I watch the fight. I'm not joking, I watch the whole fucking episodes and then I watch the fight, and my guy is a genius. A genius. There will always be an argument, oh, you should have fought that person then, and I get it. I get it, right? It's kind of the argument you can't throw at Muhammad Ali, right? You could throw that argument at Floyd. But dude, unbeaten is unbeaten. Unbeaten is unbeaten. Multi-weight world champion is multi-weight world champion. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen a boxer so like, I'm gonna work you out, and then when I work you out, you're done. Shall I repeat that? I'm gonna work you out, and when I work you out, you're done. And Floyd had this thing where first 2 rounds, you think, oh shit, man, this guy's in this fight, and then he works you out. And then he works you out. Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd was better than Money, but Money Floyd had obviously the fights, right? In terms of the fights that brought all the eyeballs onto him, Oscar De La Hoya, you know what I mean? That Pretty Boy Floyd was like, Diego Corrales is probably the best performance really from Pretty Boy Floyd, right? Corrales, I think, was unbeaten at the time, and look what he did to him. But Money Floyd brought the eyeballs on. That's when he started being controversial. Genius outside the ring in terms of marketing, genius inside the ring in terms of defensively, offensively as well. People don't give him as much credit offensively.
Zab Judah, who once shared the ring with Floyd Mayweather, didn't hesitate to declare Terence Crawford as the true king of this generation. He explained that every era produces its own shining star, and right now, Crawford carries that mantle. Judah reminded fans of the time Canelo Alvarez himself admitted that Crawford might actually be better than Floyd, words that, in Judah's eyes, carry serious weight. He emphasized that Crawford has already proven his dominance by conquering elite opponents across multiple weight divisions, showcasing a style so complete that no one has managed to figure him out. In making this point, Judah paid respect to Mayweather's legendary legacy, but also underlined that today's spotlight belongs to Crawford. For Judah, comparisons across eras are inevitable, but what matters most is recognizing Crawford as the undisputed #1 fighter of this generation.
Right now, #1, this is his generation, this is his timeline, he is the king right now.
Just seen in the press conference, Canelo said that Crawford's better than Mayweather. What did you think?
He's not lying. He fought him. He should know. How can somebody tell somebody that fought both of these guys, he know.
Yeah.
If anybody would know, Canelo would know.
What do you think's next for both?
I don't know.
Too early? You like to see a rematch?
Not a rematch. Rematches always sound good. But in a rematch, it'll be the same thing.
Yeah. Cool.
Matter of fact, in a rematch, I'm predicting stoppage earlier.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah, I think so.
Obviously, never gonna get this fight, unfortunately. You know, just two different generations. And I'm not necessarily asking you who would win, but if Floyd and Crawford were to cross paths prime for prime, would you just put that as that's 50-50, man? I don't know. Or are you just like, I might still give the edge to Floyd?
You know, man, I don't really want to compare them right now, Hans, if we seeing everything that's going on with Floyd and Roy. You know what I mean? And, you know, they competitive guys. Next thing you know, Bud and Floyd will be mad at each other, man, and wanting to fight because people is like putting them against each other. Let's just enjoy the moment. I don't know. It's a close fight. You know, it's things Floyd do better. It's things that Bud do better. But I'd rather not say, because I'm not going to just lie. and just say nothing, like, and make up something just to. I got my opinion on, you know, how the fights would go, and, you know, but I think we should just let the man enjoy his great moment. He's a great fighter. And I see a lot of immature stuff, and I don't like the way things is going with Floyd and Roy. They two guys that a lot of the younger guys look up to, and they taking shots at each other in the media because of the who's better and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I just want to see Bud enjoy his moment. And, you know, unfortunately, they didn't fight. You know, they could have made, they kind of two different eras though, even though they was fighting at the same time. Floyd kind of was doing his different thing over there with PBC, and Bud's a lot young, about 10 years younger than him. So it didn't happen, and we got to just live with it. You know what I mean?
I don't see this one coming unless you know the history of these two guys.
Yeah, they don't like each other too much, do they, Sean?
When you look at the history, it's kind of like it's for a street fight. It doesn't make sense for like a in the ring situation, and so it's kind of like, I guess for the sake of words, crazier things have happened, and then now you have to say, well, no, it doesn't get crazier than this.
Yeah, you're not kidding, right? You know, obviously we watched Mike Sean in November against Jake Paul. I think clearly those guys like each other. Floyd and Mike, not so much. Obviously, there's been some tension there over the years. Do you think they go in there, despite the fact that this is an exhibition fight? I mean, do they go in there and do they both try and take each other out?
I don't know what that fight looks like. And, you know, that kind of was my biggest apprehension with coming on with you guys today. It was like, how do you analyze what a fight between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather could look like, right? So then you think about when Floyd got in the ring with Big Show. We already know, like, we know now more than we've ever known before that the WWE is fake. It's kind of like acceptable, but it wouldn't be acceptable in a boxing ring. You know, it wouldn't be acceptable if there becomes some sort of weird antics and things like that. I mean, I guess I'll have to do what I did once before with Mike and Jake, and I'm gonna go on record for saying this doesn't happen.
Falls apart sometime before.
This doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know how you can make it make sense. I don't know how you can make this one make sense.
And to your point, they may have it, but if they have it, they haven't said it yet. There's no date for the fight, no location that's been announced. So
stuff like this, no, I didn't like the Jake-Mike fight. I told you guys that. I didn't think Mike should have been fighting then. I don't think he should be fighting now. I don't like the fact that Jake and Gervonta are fighting when Gervonta's a sitting champion. At least these two are retired, but this is an indication, and I've said this over and over, of where boxing is. That this will probably have a ton of intrigue, but it's almost like the WWE rolling out Stone Cold Steve Austin or rest in peace Hulk Hogan whenever they need a big time pop and whenever they need to get the crowd energized because their current stars just aren't hitting the same. This is what boxing feels like right now. Boxing feels like Antiques Roadshow. Honestly, this kind of stuff, that's what it feels like. And again, it's the spectacle, it's the entertainment value, and it is the era of the unpredictable, as Mike says there, but it's not good. I can tell you that, it is not good. This is why we need people like Turkey Al-Sheikh, Eddie Hearn, Oscar De La Hoya, hell, Dana White to come into boxing and fix this shit, because stuff like this and Jake and Gervonta is kind of the norm now. Mike says, I still can't believe Floyd really wants to do this. He added, it's going to be detrimental to his health, but he wants to do it, so it's signed and it's happening. It's not even believable to hear Mike talk like that. Because yes, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, he'd be right. But we saw Mike struggle to walk into the ring versus Jake. And yeah, Mike was dangerous enough for Jake not engage with him, but Jake not engaging with him just circled and jabbed his way to the ending of an exhibition where both guys get their hand raised, and we all feel like, yeah, that wasn't a fight, because clearly Mike is not the same, and clearly Jake did not want to take that extra step to try to actually put him away.
Joe Rogan weighed in by zeroing in on the personal tension between Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson, noting that Floyd has never really been fond of Mike since the early days, and that friction could surface if they ever share the ring. Rogan speculated that this might push Floyd to step away from his trademark defensive style, hinting at the shocking possibility that he could actually chase a knockout to settle their long-standing grudge. While Mayweather hasn't been known for hunting stoppages in the later stages of his career, Rogan stressed that raw emotion can completely shift a fighter's mindset. The idea of Floyd abandoning his usual cautious approach just to make a statement against Tyson is what, in Rogan's view, makes this matchup so fascinating, even if the odds of it happening are slim.
So they're not trying to knock each other out?
No, Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather don't like each other. They have not liked each other forever.
Tyson and Mayweather?
Yes.
But they like
Mike Tyson and Mayweather don't like each other.
Huh.
If there's a fight that might be real, like where Mike Tyson might say, I'm going to knock this motherfucker out, or I'm going to try to knock this motherfucker out.
It would be Floyd? They wouldn't fight.
Yeah, because if you look at like the Jake Paul fight, no disrespect, and if you look at the Roy Jones fight, no disrespect.
Yeah.
They look like they were sparring.
Yeah.
Right? It looked like there was agreements made.
Yeah. Working.
I do not know if Mike would honor any of those agreements if there was a moment
They've
to
had
crack.
beef for years.
Yeah. If there was a moment to really could he hit him? I mean, that little motherfucker can move still at 50 years old. He's so slick.
Yep.
He's still in shape. He's still fit.
They're both old as fuck.
Old as fuck.
But this is the boxing.
How old is Mayweather?
67.
Dude, Bernard
49?
Hopkins was
49.
still at the best in the world at 50.
Yep.
I mean, that's incredible.
That doesn't mean shit, though, with this. Because he
Kentucky's
was
got-
active fighting contenders.
Kentucky's got Gomez on the ground.
You're talking about two retired guys.
Yeah.
Fighting the
that's
exhibition.
so
It's just
weird.
money grabs.
It's
just,
so weird,
Yeah, it is weird. It's money grabs. I don't like it, but it's fun. You know, it's something to watch.
I'll hate on it, but I'll tune in.
Yeah, I'll tune in. It's but it's not really fighting.
So Jake Paul's not
entertainment.
going to actually be trying to knock out Gervonta Davis. You know?
There's a reason it says exhibition.
If I had a guess, yeah. The event itself would be a world-class venue and be presented to a global audience with new in-ring technology elements that will reshape how boxing is presented and scoring is achieved for years to come. What does that mean?
That shit has Abu Dhabi written all over
What
it.
does that mean? This is Tyson versus Mayweather. What does that mean? Where are they doing that? Are they doing that in Saudi Arabia?
But of course. Because they have all the money.
My friend.
And they just go, what do
Yeah.
you want to see? I'd always like to see Floyd Tyson.
Who wants to fight an alligator?
Ariel Helwani wrapped up the discussion with a grounded perspective, noting that a Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson clash is highly unlikely to happen in any official capacity. He explained that most insiders view it strictly as an exhibition, built for entertainment and financial gain rather than true competition. More importantly, Helwani pointed out that many believe this spectacle is simply a tune-up, a way for Floyd to stay active while preparing for a far more serious showdown with Terence Crawford under professional rules. By casting the Tyson fight as little more than a sideshow, Helwani shifted the focus back to the real story, the possibility of Mayweather returning to sanctioned action. In his eyes, the exhibition serves as nothing more than a placeholder designed to stir hype, while the Crawford negotiations continue to develop.
And Mayweather has been out of the spotlight for a lot longer now. Yeah. I don't think there's interest in it.
Does it happen, GC?
No.
Which has more of a chance of happening, Connor? White House card or
White House
Mayweather
card seems to be happening. I got to eat my crow on that one. It's
Yeah.
tough. Tyson Floyd.
No chance.
Also, even if it does happen, it's just like, who really cares?
Yeah.
Like, it's not them at their highest level. It's an exhibition. Everybody will clown on it when it eventually does happen.
There is a way that exhibitions can be fun. Tyson versus Roy Jones was actually like the best version of that, right? An exhibition that like I thought was exciting, delivered for the fans, but also that was so long ago for Mike Tyson. The version that we saw
like
against
early
Jake Paul-
50s.
Yeah, the version that we saw against Jake Paul just can't do
Against
it
the
anymore.
guy around his size, too. Floyd Mayweather is not that.
Roy's pretty small, but
So
no, not as small as Floyd though.
Yeah, Roy fought at heavyweight at one time.
Yeah, Floyd is very small.
Mike Roy was super interesting. It was in the, very kind of early stages of the pandemic.
Yeah.
8 months in, but we were
Yeah.
still kind of dark and depressed at that point. And like Tyson hadn't fought, it was nostalgic. It was Roy. Okay, so I got the appeal. I got the appeal of Jake because he was so much younger and he's, a novice compared to Tyson. I don't know. Okay, now what's the appeal here? You know what I mean? What's the hook?
Two of the greatest boxers ever to fight each other.
Just, I feel like we just saw that with Tyson and Roy. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the same hook.
I feel like Tyson and Roy didn't have the same, vast reach that
was a
Jake
big
Paul
deal.
versus...
That brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you for watching, and make sure to stay tuned for what's coming next.